Hear all that mumbo jumble. I mean, that sounds like a lot of stuff we can all follow. So we got a busy time, a lot going on. And tomorrow, the Yankees, anytime the Yankees name a manager, it's a big deal. Is it a surprising? Yeah, listen, I think any of these guys, when you look at it from where we were at the end of the season with Joe Girardi and having a manager in place and having gone as long as the Yankees have the last two runs with Torrey lasting so long and then Girardi lasting so long. I mean, if you go back with the Yankees, you know that the Yankees used to change managers like, what day was it? Now to have these two runs back to back where they have been the height of stability in terms of dealing with their managers, it's changed things dramatically. And then to have a guy who's going to replace a very proven, very solid manager who's been in place for a very long time, and do it with a guy who comes out of nowhere. I mean, any guy who's coming from the booth to become the manager, as a former player, booth, no coaching, no managing experience, it's a different thing. And then to do that and take over the Yankees is even a trickier thing because the Yankee job is obviously a little different than most jobs, and I'm sure Boone, can, he's obviously well versed in media. He can handle the media, I'm sure, very well. If things are good, that's easy to do. If things are rough, plus his staff's going to be very important. You got guys on your staff, everybody does, who do a lot of the grunt work, who do a lot of the work that has to be done inside a baseball team or any team, whether it be any professional team. You're going to have guys on your staff that do the grunt work, that really do the minutia, do the day-to-day. And every manager's got one they lean on. Who does that? Who's that going to be for Aaron Boone? We'll see. It was clearly Thompson with the Yankees. He did a lot of that work. He's gone now to the Phillies. Let's see who picks up that slack with the Yankees. I mean, so, that we'll see how that changes. They kept the pitching coach, which was imperative. Actually, to me, more important than keeping the manager. More important than the managerial decision was the decision to keep the pitching coach. Because, first of all, it's how good he is. Secondly, you don't want to make that change. You really don't. Because having him there to handle the staff, now you put a veteran guy, in as the bench coach, and you can let him just find his way as a manager, which, will take a little time, but it'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's not like it's heavy lifting or something that he doesn't understand. He's a baseball player. He's lived baseball his whole life. He comes from a baseball family. He understands the game of baseball. It's not an issue. It's about dealing with players, and it's about handling your pitching staff. And in game, no matter what they do, no matter how much they now use a franchise way of making rosters, franchise way of cutting pitching staffs, developing rotations, deciding who's going to start, even getting involved in the lineup a little bit, which these teams now, these front offices now do. You still have to let the manager manage the game, which means he's got to manage the bullpen. And that's really where he makes his money, is managing the bullpen. Matching up with the other dugout, matching up with the other lineup, and knowing when your pitchers are ready, when they've had enough, when it's their day, when it's not their day, when to pull the starter. That's the stuff, they can't help with that. You got to let them do that. And that's the stuff you got to be able to do. That's where you win and lose. That's how it works. So we will have Aaron Boone tomorrow. He gets a 3-year deal. We will have Cash, whose decision it was. He had to get the stamp from Hal, but he did. He knew that he probably would. And tomorrow also, Coach K, who's got a great Duke team. Not a good Duke team. Best two teams in the country right now, Michigan State and Duke. Michigan State's 2, Duke's 1. A lot of people like Florida. I thought they were a little overrated, and they lost last night to Florida State. They lost embarrassingly to Florida State, as a matter of fact. But I think Duke and Michigan State are... there's some other good teams. A&M's really good. Wichita State's got a good team. Villanova's got a good team. But I'd say right now Duke and Michigan State are very, very strong. We'll have Coach K tomorrow and then A-Rod tomorrow also. Quick break, and we should be back with Dick Vermeil and your calls right after this.